The next section of the Survey of Natural Sciences is the organic chemistry section. And this section on my practice test I was averaging about a 20 to 23, sort of the same as scores as I was getting in general chemistry, but I wasn't really studying organic chemistry. That's because while studying for the DAT, I was finishing up organic chemistry too. And so I was putting a lot of time in class studying for the course. And on top of that, I'm also the supplemental instructor at my school for organic chemistry 1. So I was getting, every week I was hosting like 4 or 5 hour-long study sessions while sitting in organic chemistry 1 lectures and reviewing that material almost on a daily basis while studying for organic chemistry 2. So I kind of neglected organic chemistry study for the DAT because I felt very confident in my organic chemistry. On the actual test, I ended up getting a perfect 30 on the organic chemistry, and I'm out of my whole test breakdown, I'm most proud of that. Organic chemistry is, I'm sure other pre-dentals or anyone watching this has heard, you're going to hear people say, oh, it's so hard. You're going to hear people talk about how many times they have to take it and how they just want to get through it and just get a B or whatever. And for me, I kind of went in with that same mindset of this is going to be difficult. But instead of listening to that, I kind of tuned all that out and was like, I'm going to do my best and just see what happens, and end up getting very good grades in both OChem 1 and OChem 2. However, studying for organic chemistry on the DAT, it's most important you're very comfortable with, like general chemistry fundamentals. If there's going to be 1-step or 2-step reactions, and general reaction mechanisms and different reagents and products, it's very important to just be familiar with the basics. You don't want to go into it feeling not confident, and if they hit you with a hydroboration question, you not knowing if that's Markov's or anti-Markov's addition, for example. So what I would recommend is start early on the Anki deck for organic chemistry. The organic chemistry deck only has, I think, 500 cards. However, they're like repeats of the same, like one card will be the reagents, another will be the products of a reaction. So be aware of that. You're going to see like very similar cards, but I thought that was very helpful. I was doing that for the last like 3 weeks before my test, but I didn't start practice questions until 3 days before my test. And Booster has a bunch of, in their question banks for OChem, they have all basically the chapters of organic chemistry laid out, or style of questions. And so for each day, for the 3 days leading up to my test, I did a third of the questions in all the question banks. And so that way I was had done all the practice questions the night before my test. I think that helped me the most, as there were a few questions on my test that were exactly questions that Booster had in their question banks, which made it very easy. On the OChem, I thought the OChem like level of difficulty was miles easier than what you see on practice tests. It basically was just fundamentals, like, do you understand what this reaction does? And like I said before, I felt very confident in that. There was one question that I was genuinely a 50-50 on, but I gave it my best guess, and it must have went in my favor to get the 30. So for OChem, start on the reaction mechanisms, products, reagents early, and the best way to do that is through the Anki deck, whether Booster or Bootcamp, doesn't really matter, just whatever you prefer. If you're having a hard time like finding those, like literally just Google a Booster Anki deck. They're free. Like, you don't need to pay the whatever, a few $100 you don't need the Booster subscription or Bootcamp subscription to access those. So yeah, I'd recommend starting those early and doing as many practice questions as you can.